Welcome to Introduction to Microsoft PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint is a part of Microsoft Office. It is used for creating presentation slideshows. Here we have opened or launched PowerPoint. Once opening PowerPoint, you will be offered a list of templates and prompted to choose what kind of slideshow presentation you want to create. You can choose from one of the design templates shown or choose a blank presentation. We'll choose blank presentation. Let's familiarize ourselves with how PowerPoint is laid out. If you are familiar with other Microsoft applications, you will find there are many similarities between those and PowerPoint. The title bar is located at the very top of the window. It shows the title of your document and the application in which you are working. In this instance, PowerPoint. The title of this document is Presentation 2 because we have yet to save it as a different name. That is a default name. The ribbon is located beneath the title bar. The ribbon contains tabs, as seen here across the top, comprised of groups of command buttons. Home tab has its own set of grouped command buttons: clipboard, slides, font, paragraph, drawing, editing. And if we go through the tabs, you'll see that the groups of command buttons change: insert, slides, tables, images, illustrations, etc. Draw, design, transitions, animations, slideshow, review, view, and the help tab. The file tab or backstage view is where you will find commands such as new, creating a new document, open, for opening an existing or already saved document, save and save as, for saving your document under its current name or saving it as another name, which creates a separate file, and print. Then we'll hit the back arrow to take us back to our editing window. The quick access toolbar is located above the ribbon in the upper left and can be customized to include whichever commands you use most often. The slides pane is located on the left and contains a list view of all the slides in your presentation. We only have one slide currently in our presentation. The slide window is located to the right of the slides pane and shows the selected slide. You can see in our slides pane window, the selected slide is outlined in red, and this is the slide that shows in our slide window. Placeholders are the boxes that you will see on your slide. Placeholders change depending upon what slide layout you select. And you can find slide layout in the slides group of the Home tab layout button. If you click that, you can see that there are options to change to a different layout. The status bar is located at the bottom of the window and shows which slide of how many is currently selected. And you can see here we have selected slide 1 of 1 slide. The slide show button on the right-hand side of the status bar is used to preview your slideshow. And then the zoom, fit slide to current window buttons. Just zoom your slides in or out so that you can see a larger view or a smaller view. Now that we have familiarized ourselves with the basic layout of PowerPoint, let's choose a design. Think about what design you want for your presentation. Who is your target audience? What is the purpose of your presentation, or what message do you want to send? Click the Design tab at the top of the ribbon. And scroll through the options here and decide which is best for your presentation. As you scroll through, if you hover your mouse over, let's make this a little bit smaller, over one of the design themes, you can see in the slide window, it shows you a preview of how that particular design will look. The chosen design will automatically be applied to the rest of your slides. And in the variants group, you can change the color scheme of that particular design. And if you click the drop down arrow next to the variants, you can change just the colors or just the fonts or the effects. You can see there's glow, shadows, reflections, etc. If you want to change just one slide, you click on that slide in the slide pane so that it comes up in the large preview screen, and then you right-click on the design you want for that slide and choose Apply to Selected Slides. And you can see that we have changed this theme to a different theme. And you can see that the variants to the right also changed, giving you different options. Now that we have chosen a design for our presentation, let's create a title page. Click the first box, click to add, this one says double tap to add title, so we can double click in that box. Sometimes it will say click to add title. And then you can just type the title of your presentation. Then you can click in the second box, click to add subtitle or double click to add subtitle and type your name or any other subtitle you choose. Once you have text in the text boxes, you can change their font, size, color, etc. All of this can be found on the Home tab of the ribbon. So let's click on the Home tab. Let's make sure we're in a box. And since we already have text in our box, I'm going to highlight by clicking and dragging that text. Click at the beginning and drag all the way across to highlight your text. And then Home tab, Font Group, drop down arrow next to the font name, and then we can scroll through. And as you scroll through, you can see in your text box that the text is changing. And you can scroll through until you find whichever style text is going to work best for your presentation style. You can change the size of the font and make it larger or smaller. Click the drop down arrow here or just double click, and type a number in. If you click the drop down arrow and scroll through, it will show you the size changing. And we know that one wouldn't work because it threw our N to another line. You can also click increase font size button or decrease font size button if you just need it to go 1 or 2. You can also bold it, italicize it, underline it, create a shadow, change the color, all within the font group. Next, let's add more slides to our presentation. There are several ways to add additional slides. I will show you two ways here. Remember the slides pane to the left of the screen? This area shows you a list of all the slides in your presentation. Currently, we only have one slide in our presentation. The first way to add a new slide is to right-click the slide from this list. So if I right-click on the slide in our slides pane, it brings up a list of options. We can choose new slide, we can choose to duplicate the current slide, or we can change the layout of the slide selected. I'm going to choose new slide. And you can see it adds a default second slide. If you right click on that slide, you can change the layout if you choose. If you had selected duplicate slide, right click on the selected slide, duplicate slide, it would just duplicate that slide. The second way to add a new slide is to click the Home tab, which we have selected, and then find the Slides group of command buttons. It's the second group over from the left. Click the New Slide drop-down and choose the desired slide from the layout options provided, or choose Duplicate Selected Slides. And you can see now we have, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to select the duplicate slide we did, right click, and choose Delete Slide. So now we have three slides. We have our title slide, and then we have the two slides that we added. Your new slider slides, as you can see here, appear in the list on the left, as well as become the large slide in the main window that you can now edit. Many slideshows include charts, graphics, images, etc. Here are two ways to insert objects into your slideshow. The first way is to find the Insert tab at the top of the ribbon and click it. Here you will see all of the options for what you can add to your slide. Choose which type of object you want to insert. For example, if you want to insert an image from the online gallery, click on the Online Pictures button in the Images group of command. The group names are at the bottom. See, slides, tables, images, illustrations. Online Pictures is in the Images group. So we'll choose Online Pictures. Choose from the suggestions or type a word into the search bar. Choose your image and select Insert. So we can choose from the suggestions, click the image we like, click Insert, and it will insert that image onto our slide. An alternate way, let's go to our second slide, is to click the empty box and choose from the available options. If you hover over the options in an empty box, you can see what they are: insert table, insert chart, insert a smart art graphic, pictures, online pictures, insert video. So if we wanted to insert an online picture, we would click the online pictures icon, and you can see it brings us up to the same window. You can choose from the options, or you can do a search. Choose your image, click Insert, and it inserts your object onto your slide. Once you have your picture, your chart, your graph, etc. inserted, you will notice a new tab at the top of your window called Picture Tools. This is a format tab specific to your inserted object, so it changes depending upon what object you have inserted. The options with options to create and modify borders, layout, special effects, corrections, etc. Next, we'll review adding transitions. Transitions allow you to customize how one slide transitions into the next slide. The command groups located beneath the Transitions tab, we'll click on the Transitions tab, and you can see there are 3 groups of command buttons: Preview, Transition to this slide, and Timing. Preview allows you to see a preview of your transition from this screen without the need to play your slideshow. The Transition to this slide group allows you to choose the transition and change its features. So we're going to select the drop-down menu, and you can see that it's broken into groups: subtle transitions, exciting transitions, dynamic content transitions. So if we choose, for instance, let's choose ripple. And it gave you a brief preview of the ripple effect. You can click preview in the preview group to see the preview of what the transition will look like. You can choose effect options in the transition to this slide group. And you can see that it gives you options that are specific to that particular transition. You can ripple from the center. You can choose to ripple from the bottom right. And you can see the preview changes accordingly. Some, but not all selections feature these changeable effects. The timing group is the last group on the Transitions tab. It allows you to change aspects of the transition related to its timing. The duration here is 1.40. This changes how long the transition plays between slides. So let's preview 1.40, and then we'll change it to a longer duration of 7 and preview it. And you can see we've slowed the transition down. It takes longer to transition. The advanced slide option to the right determines when the slide advances to the next slide. So will you need to click the mouse or hit an arrow key to transition to the next slide? Or do you want the slide to transition after a certain number of seconds or minutes? Next, we'll review adding animations. So we'll click the Animations tab, and you can see it looks very similar to the Transitions tab. Animations allow you to customize how objects enter the slide. In contrast to transitions, which allow you to customize how one slide transitions into the next slide, animations are specific to objects within one slide. The command groups located beneath the Animations tab are Preview, Animation, Advanced Animation, and Timing. Preview works the same as under the Transitions tab. The Animation group allows you to choose the animation you want for a specific object, such as a text box or image, and allows you to customize its features. The Advanced Animation group gives you the option to open the animation pane, seen here on the right, which will give you a little more visual control over the aspects of your animation. The Timing group works similarly to the Timing group under Transitions, only as it regards the timings applied to your chosen objects. So let's see, we have a picture selected here. Let's apply an animation to this particular picture. Let's choose Fly In, and you can see it gave us a brief preview, and it put a box with a 1 beside it. So we know this picture is the first animation on this slide. This one does have effect options, so we can choose the direction from which this object will fly into our slide. Currently, from bottom is selected, or we could choose from right, and you can see it flew in from the right. We can change the duration, how long it takes the object to fly into our slide. Currently it's 0.5. If we change it to 1 and click preview, you can see it slowed it down just a little. The delay option delays the object from entering the slide for a certain number of seconds determined by you after you have advanced to that slide. So we don't want our picture to come in right away. First, we want everything else on our slide to appear. Let me type in a title so you can see. Then we'll select our object and we'll choose to let it delay 2 seconds after we've advanced to this slide. Okay, and then we're going to preview. And you can see how it waited 2 seconds before it came into the slide. If you want to add slide notes into your presentation, you can click the Notes button in the status bar. So remember, the status bar is at the bottom. There is a Notes button where you can toggle your notes on and off. So if you click it, you can add your notes into the box, and they will be there for when you present. And then if you click it again, your notes will go away while you're editing. When in presentation mode, the notes will only appear on the presenter screen. What is projected will be the slideshow without your notes. You can organize your slides in a variety of ways as well. Here are a couple of ways to change the order of your slides quickly and easily. You can click on a slide in the slides pane, remember to the left, click it and drag it to its new spot. And now what was the third slide is now the second slide in our presentation. Or you can click the View tab in the ribbon and change it from normal view to outline view, which is useful for really long presentations. Choose Slide Sorter to rearrange your slides. You can move them around there. Or you can choose Notes page, where you can, this is useful if you have a lot of notes, you can see your notes and the corresponding slide on the same page. Now it's time for your slideshow presentation. Choose the Slideshow tab in the ribbon. From this tab, you can play your slideshow presentation for review, practice, or to present. And you can see the groups are Start Slideshow, Setup, and Monitors. Start Slideshow group, you can choose to play your slideshow from the beginning. I'll go ahead and click that. And you can go through and see our transition, our slow ripple. Our animation. Oops. There's our animation and our third slide. And then back to our editing. You can choose to present from the current slide. See how we started at the current slide and not at the beginning. You can choose to present online through a web browser. In the setup group, you can customize options for how your presentation will show by setting up your slideshow. It's a set of advanced options. You can hide particular slides. You can rehearse the timings and record your slideshow. The monitors group allows you to set up your slideshow so that you can use 2 monitors. You view your presentation with speaker notes on one monitor while your audience views the notes-free presentation on another monitor, for example, a large screen via a projector. So these are some of the basics of creating a PowerPoint slideshow. I encourage you to play around with the design, the transitions, the animations, and inserting objects into your slideshow. And that is the end of this presentation.